Okay, welcome everyone. I'm so great to have you here tonight. And today I'm gonna move away from we have usually been doing for the past three to yeah 2 to 3 4 workshops, which has been focusing on creating learning environment in Tana, which is powered by AI. But I wanted to really work on a concept that is creating a template from start to finish and packaging it, for just distributing, because I think it's also interesting in connection with everything we have done during our 6 months, 7 months run of workshops now. I have created a dedicated workspace because I have way too many way too many super tags in the workspace that I usually use to create templates and share them, on Twitter or just on the community on Discord. So I'm going to create a new workspace, and I'm gonna make it a public workspace so I can then, share everything without going crazy. Gonna stick to the dark mode. Don't say me nothing, but I'm just can't stand the light mode. Mm. Yeah, no, I've tried. We did the presentation, and it was mandatory to do the presentation at the time
Mm.
MA with light mode, and it was like a struggle. Trust me, believe me. Okay, so the super tag structure that we are going to create is the same that I've shared on Twitter yesterday. I think it's super cool because we did something similar during another workshop, I guess. I don't remember correctly, or probably also during the first boot camp, where we were collecting similar books to the one that we are consuming right now. So nothing really fancy. Here, instead, we are using the genre field, which is an options field, and the liked field, which is basically some options on what we liked about the book. And basically, we are using these in the prompt to generate recommendations. We can see that the prompt, I did something, tried to do also something where to lay it down a little bit differently compared to what we do, what we usually do. And you will notice that I've included a lot of system variables in directly in the in the middle of the instructions themselves, on the prompt themselves. I don't usually do this. We usually, create a structure for the instruction here, and then we go over and we say this is the context, rather than this is the name, this is the field. And here I try to show you something different so we can also learn to use a different technique. Okay, I'm gonna need some super tags. Here we are going to need book rec, and so now I'm gonna do convert to super tag, and then I'm going to bring referenced node here so that the super tag is living here and not inside the schema. And then when I want to share this, I have no problems in with mixed nodes and references coming in from other places, and so everything is ready to be shared. I usually to do this, I do a command that is we can also include here, which is called, I'm usually calling ultra tag. I'm converting it to a command node, and I'm saying that I want to run a command line command, which is basically doing this, the same thing. And I want to run from the command line those two commands, basically one after the other. So convert to super tag. And now since I can't use two run a command line commands inside the same command, I need to create two more command nodes so that they are nested under this command, and I'm gonna call them so convert to super tag, and I'm gonna move the action here, and then I can simply duplicate, and this one is gonna be calling bring referenced node here. This is the second step from the command line. You have to do bring referenced node here. Now, if I go over bookrack and I call my command, my new command, ultra tag, that's what it's gonna do. Oh, sorry, I think I have used, yeah, this is the command. There you go. You see that the double action was made, both the convert to super tag and then the bring reference node here. So now the super tag is living here and I can safely share it. There you go. We have our three super tags living here. I'm going to also create a um, now what I can do is share this as a template, and you can see that I don't have any issue, any error coming up. I can safely share this because the super tags and the fields and everything is living inside this node. There is nothing to catch, you know, anywhere around your graph, and that's super important. Okay, so here we're gonna go with demo nodes, and we can work here. Okay, gonna recreate the same example so that yes, this is the super tag, and we can go ahead and create our structure. So we're gonna need author, then we're gonna need now I can simply promote these to the book super tag template so that we always have them available on our book nodes. And I'm going to also change the data type. So the author is going to be an instance, consumed is going to be a date, genre is going to be an option, and so on. Like this could be an instance. Now I can simply command click on the field and it's gonna open the configuration. And I say that this is an instance of author. And this is an instance of, oh no, sorry, this is not an instance, it's an options field, sorry. Perfect. Okay, in this case, it's automatically suggesting the tag as author, and that's fine. The dates, it's gonna be just a start and end date. The genre, we can simply populate uh, our options, or we can use AI to populate them, which is what we are going to do here. You can see that we have two AI fields. The first one is going to be genre. So custom prompt, and we open the prompt workbench so we can work and we can see the prompt real time expanded. We copy the book node and we paste it here in the node test with, so that we have our node ready to be, our prompt to be tested on this node. Okay, we can now go ahead and very simple extract, very simple instruction. Here we are going to do a few short prompts with using stop sequences, and we are providing an input which we are going to get from the Tana paste of the book tag, and we are going to provide an output so that the AI knows what we are looking for. The second input would be the sys context, so that the output is the last sequence, is the completion that the AI will do for us. Now, if you don't know anything about this, I've shared a guide a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, and it's also, I guess, in the template I shared yesterday of this workflow, or I don't think it's included. Anyway, it's on Twitter, and you should totally go and check it out if you didn't already. Because it's basic concept, but will really help you understand how to get the expected result from the eye without going mad. Okay, so you can see that here I'm starting um, my stop sequence, and I'm saying that the input is going to be the Tana paste of the book. First of all, let me just do this quickly. So we have the whole concept available. Start it's 5, yes. Mm, nice. I love it this way. It reminds me of, I don't know what, but I love it. Really love it like this. And so the rating is here. Now we have our author, our rating, everything we need. What's this? And this. So we have more space to work here. Okay, the first input I'm simply going to copy as Tana paste, because as you know, what the prompt is going to feed to the OpenAI API is the Tana paste of your node. And so by pasting here as a code, we have the structure that the AI will get exactly from us when we run the prompt, when we run the command, and we run the prompt over this node. You can see that now whatever I include in the custom prompt, it's expanded here in the expanded prompt part, where you can see exactly what we are going to throw to the AI, the exact prompt with spaces and everything. Now I'm going to need an output, which is going to be, oops, the output. So the input will be this. Now the output that I want from the prompt, so extract the genre of the book, will be of these types. So these are four examples that you might take in consideration when creating my output. The second input will be the context of the node, and so this is context system variable, which adds to the prompt the whole context of the node. And you can see that we have the name of the and the super tag, and then all of the fields that you have. So the whole context, which is what we need here. And the last output, we leave it empty so that the AI can create the completion for us, basically. We can select use GPT-4. We can try. And we can start going crazy about why it's not throwing what we want. And we start the prompt engineering part where we we try a way to make it work. Here it is. The author is in the context. Mm. No temperature. GPT-4 should work. I don't think it's gonna make any difference, but the only difference I see from the other workflow that I did is that there I used the build title from fields feature to get also the author in the title. Yes. And the rating if it's present, only if it's present, which I can say by using these two characters at the end of the prompt expression. But I don't think it's gonna make any difference. It did.
What character did you put after name?
It's it's an icon.
Oh, okay.
It's an emoji. Well, one of these more early internet
Symbol.
icons. I love them. I love them a lot. And here I've used the long, I don't remember how it's called, and the question mark to say that the rating should be available, visible in the title only if it's set. So if it's not set, you will see that it's not visible. But if I remove this, then you're gonna have rating if it's not set. So by including these two, if there is no rating, there is nothing visible here. But if I include a rating, then the rating is gonna be visible in the title.
Okay.
Mm.
What does that symbol do for name? Is that actually intentional where you put that triangle like symbol?
Yeah, no, it's just for visually,
Oh, I see.
separating the
I see.
name of the book from the author, and then making a clear separation. But that's it.
I got it. Okay. I didn't see that.
Just visual, nothing
All right.
fancy. Okay, but then I didn't. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it's weird like, and crazy if you think that just by changing the title of the node, now I can get what I wanted. But yeah, now it's working. And main themes, we are going to do the same. The data type is fine. An AI enhanced field, custom prompt, open prompt workbench, game paste the node here so I can have a node to test with. And we can go ahead with our prompt, which is going to be, this was harder to nail. And you can see that it's way more structured than the very simple description, the instruction that we provided to the prompt, to the other field here. So extract a list of meaningful themes, but it was throwing at me themes that were more suitable for genre or style related, and I wanted something different. And by working quite a bit on it, I was able to make it work. Books is context. Let's watch the expanded prompt. So the instructions, then the book, which we introduced with a book node here, and then we included the sys context, which gives the prompt the whole context of the node. And finally, an example output. This is a one-shot prompt where we just give an instruction, provide an example output, and we expect the AI to understand. This is usually done when the prompt is more structured and um, more advanced, I would say. Let's say like that, more structured. We can try. Okay, what's expected. And what we want now is to not having to run these two feeds by clicking the AI here, or at least I don't prefer that. I prefer the ergonomics of having, a command here that it's available when there is no channel and no main teams. And so I can simply create a command in the configuration of book, and I can say um, and wait. So we have the prompts here. So basically what we want is a command that it's running these two AI fields one after the other, and we want this command to be available only when genre is not set, and so genre is not set, and when main themes are not set. So now, if we have both not set, we have our general and main themes. And now, after we have our filter inserted, we can go ahead and have our command that it's gonna run the AI fields. Now, run the AI fields allows you to run all the AI fields automatically without including any configurations to it. To just add the run AI fields command, and it's gonna run all the empty AI fields. And you can see that in fact it's doing exactly that. Now it's returning a little bit of a mess here. Yeah, this one is a bit unreal. What if we include fields to run? With fields to run, we can pinpoint what we want to run. So if we have, a node that it's a field, sorry, that it's something that we need to fill ourselves, and the AI should never touch it. We can use fields to run to say you should run exactly on these two fields, which in this case are genre and main themes. Let me see if it works better like this. Yeah, it seems so. These are little details that I discover with you. I mean, and it's unreliable, still unreliable. I think in this case I am using I'm using a wrong keyword. Use extract. I think in the AI might expect that I'm providing the genre in the context while I'm not doing it.
You have to put that question in brackets, like like for what's the genre of the book? Do you have to do an example output so it understands what to do?
Yeah, here is the input, output,
Oh,
and
I
the
see.
test.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got it. I didn't see that.
yeah, but probably we can try something different here. Um, we can do a one shot instead of a few shots by being more precise of what we want in the instructions instead of having a simple instruction and input output. So step sequence strategy, we can use just a more detailed instruction and then an example output, and see if the AI is following us, which is by the way what we do here. You can see that here we have a more robust instruction. Then we have the context and the example output. While here we have a very generic instruction, and then we have a precise input output stop sequence that it's not following. And it might be the model, it might be also that it's an AI field. Oh, I needed this. Okay, so book, sys context, and example output. Yeah, it seems more reliable. Yeah, let's go ahead with this one. So now that I have general and main themes, I can, I only need what I liked. I'm going to create some general options. Okay, we have everything we need to create the first part of the command. We're gonna create the command as it's here. And then we're gonna do another thing that Simon asked me about, which is using also creating, or better, using the database of books that we generate with this workflow to avoid creating duplicates. When we run the command more than one time over the same node, it's very easy that the AI is gonna return always the same 5 books, for instance. By providing a search node in the prompt, so to the AI can see which books I already have in my database and can return totally different books. Okay. Okay, this one we are going to have it. So this becomes available only when we have a general set. We have our main themes set, and we have our liked field set. Only when these 3 fields have values, the command recommendations will become available. And now, when the command is available, we want to run an ASCII command. Again, prompt workbench. I'm copying the node so I can test my workflow over this node, and I'm using a custom prompt. Uh, okay, here you are going to see how we create storytelling, basically, or non-structured text by using the system variables and the prompt expressions inside the text, basically. So I recently read book name, which is Altered Carbon, and you can see here by author Richard K. Morgan, and thoroughly enjoyed it. We can go ahead and we can say this book genre is genre, and it's gonna throw all the genres in, and its main themes include main themes, and you can see that the themes are all laid down here. Now I can go ahead and I found the liked particularly engaging, and ahead with explaining the theme, the type of recommendations that we want. um, I only used name and author again to include the name of the book and the title and the name of the author here. Nothing special. But yeah, and we didn't do anything similar in any workshop. We usually do instructions and then context. We are not usually, I mean, that's not the way I use AI usually. But in this case, is very handy because you can create the prompt with your fields, and in this way having different outputs based on the content of your fields. Now we are going to see the instructions are going to be rendered the output following the example below. Do not add any other comment to the output as always, and the example out here I'm going to create Tana based structure, ask, and then I think inside I have only author, which is a field, and inside there is an author and reason. The reason why it is suggesting this book. You can see the expanded prompt as we have laid in here with our prompt expressions and sister variables. You can see it expanded here with the final values that will be thrown to the AI. I can select GPT-4. I can go back here and insert output strategy as childs. There you go. Let's try it. Here we go. We have the book, the author, and the reason why the AI is suggesting this book. Now, what I want to do, I want book rec to inherit all of the fields from um, from the book. So I want that this super tag extends book. Now, perfect. Now book recs as all of the commands or of the fields that the book supports. What I can do now when I generate directly where I generate, I can run a command. Yes, no, run command on all children. So all children of this node, so all of the nodes that I have generated, I can say that I want you to run this command. I'm creating a command node, and inside run AI fields. Now it will run all of the AI fields on over all of the nodes that are child nodes of our recommendation of our book. Let's test it out. Here we go. You see that the commands are not available anymore because, of course, they have been run automatically by the command. What I love having on this now is two commands. This one. Oh, okay. This one is to keep the book in our database. And so I'm going to remove a field, first of all, remove a tag, sorry. Remove tags, and I'm going to remove book rec. And then I'm going to add tag, very easy. And that's exactly what's going to happen. This is going to be turned into a book. Let me change the color so it's more obvious. I didn't do it. Okay, now. Okay, so when I click this command over a book recommendation, I'm turning it into a book. Now I want the same command, the same type of command, but to delete, basically delete, erase the node. So here it's gonna be and here I can simply run a command line and we run from the command line delete node. Very simple. Now when I click delete, it's gonna be deleted. If I click okay, it's gonna be turned into a book and it goes into my book search nodes basically. Okay, let's say that now we have these two books. Oh, what I was doing also in the original template was also removing this field. I had an additional step that removed this field. Yeah. Okay, let me see now how we can improve. Additions, ASCII. We simply need an additional, in this case, I think my intuition says that we only need an additional um, instruction that says to not render basically what's already in our data set. Do not render what's. Now I need dataset, convert to a search node. And I can also show you the expanded prompt in the prompt workbench. You will see that the data set is perfect like this. I don't need any introductory node because basically the dataset search node is going to expand it like this. So the prompt is perfect. The AI knows that this is the start of the dataset and this is the start of the example output. It's quite clear. Let's test it. Mm, it's working. I mean, it's thinking. Why this info about neurons? No, I'm think. Sorry, I'm thinking. What could be wrong? No, we don't use any sys context here, so we are not really giving already the books to the AI. Should work. You can also try GPT-4 Turbo, by the way. It returned a couple of books that are already in, well, 3 books that are already in. So yeah, it's not really working. Still a couple of duplicates.
Yeah, the last line of your prompt that says Neuromancer book rec might be confusing for something, creating that additional node there.
Mm, this one is the example. That's why the AI is returning this book rec node. Otherwise, it would just return some, random nodes with some info. And instead, you see that it's returning exactly the structure that we want. That's
Yeah,
why
but
we need this part here.
the line above that doesn't have a tag that says Neuromancer is a seminal
Yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. That's what is confusing. I mean, that's where this is coming
Maybe,
from. I know
yeah,
that, but I wanted to first of all make sure that it's not returning duplicates,
got it.
which is the case now. You can see that these the last five that it return are not duplicates. Then I will proceed to make sure that that doesn't happen. But as we have seen in other editions, it might also be a matter of changing the model. It can be a lot of stuff. Mm. I think it's also a matter of limited, I don't know, it's throwing something new, but then it's also repeating. This can be a solution for usually when the AI hallucinates and uses um, test data to get or throws test, part of the prompts that it shouldn't inside the output. I think this is still running from earlier. I didn't click it, so it's definitely running from earlier. Okay, let's try now. I want to do a max test with GPT-4, then I want to do a test with GPT-4 Turbo. Um, the auto rules. Hello, Nico. Okay. Better. No duplicates. Faster. Much better. Let me be mega explicit. Hello, Matt. Oh, it's doing it quite a lot tonight. This is probably on OpenAI. Even when it's finished, it's keeping on running. Let's see. It's definitely working now. Can keep as a book. I can remove it. I may remove a whole bunch of this. Let me see what happens. Yeah, I think Discord it's not really reliable with that. I have included basically I made a Google Calendar, but I haven't shared with you guys yet. I'm going to share with you guys so you can simply subscribe to the Google Calendar that it's only for the workshops. And so whenever there is also an update, it gets updated on your calendars. Sorry, Matt. But anyway, I replicated what I had in the template that I shared yesterday. And the only thing that we were doing now is adding another instruction to the prompt so that we can also use the data set of the books that we keep when generating. And so that we get different suggestions every time. Otherwise, it would be throwing always the same 5 books. Now they're different, and we can, like in the template, keep or remove them, and we can go over and over again. I would like, I would like to see now, the differences if we change the type of likeness, or I don't what we liked about the book, which is also um, available in the prompt. Um, because we use it here to say that this is the part that we particularly found engaging about the book. Help me, guys, but I don't think I see duplicates. I think it's nailing it now. I think it's working. I don't think I see any duplicates.
Yep. It looks
Good.
like it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely working. And it's also, throwing the reason why it's a good match. And it's also running the I fields automatically so that we have channel and my main teams already included. Now, basically, when we include any liked, we have the right recommendations available also on this new book. I want to try now, let's say, I have it, Matt. I'm putting it here in the chat. Oh, I hate this. That I think the process of the command running when I went to the next page and now I came back. It went balance. Not sure it's gonna return anything now, so let's just run it. Oh, it did. It did return something. So what's that? It's going. So these were returned when we used writing style. Oh, I don't know why it's not indenting multiple nodes at once. Yeah. Now let me do another test with character development and let me see. But why it's keeping on running? I mean, it's the first time I see it doing something like this. And here we have writing style. Let's do some recommendations for character development. Yeah, I see some repetitions, but at the same time, I also see some nuance. This was it's definitely buggy. I haven't been working today on in Tana, as it's a bank holiday in Italy, and I have no idea. I know that they did an update today, but I don't remember the commands doing this yesterday. Yes, different specifics, different suggestions. So these are the suggestions for similar writing styles. Sorry, this was complex. Oh no, we have the three. We did the three already. That's really something different here, something bad here going on. Yeah, I guess that is more or less what I wanted to go over today. And I guess if you have any question, I'm all ears. If you want me to address anything that I did and you didn't understand, or you want me to go over any of the steps that I did, just go ahead, Simon. I know you have many questions.
No, actually, I get all of it surprisingly for me after so long break with Tana.
Yeah, it's been a long time for you, right?
Yeah, but it's so intuitive, and yeah, it works amazing.
Yeah, and I guess compared to when you kind of stopped working with Tana like 3 to 4 months ago, it's totally much better now. Totally
Yeah,
different.
especially with self notes and some fixes, automatic fixes and suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, you were struggling a lot with a lot of micro interactions that they have really improved on in the last, especially in the last 2 to 4 months. They've been pushing like crazy. Yeah, Matthew, what do you think about it?
Well, I'm probably don't have any questions because I'm fascinated. I loved what Dan's doing with that series.
Yeah,
And yeah, Nat's that was fascinating. Like it blew my mind. So thanks for taking those learnings and put them into a bundle. But I'll probably have to like dive in and understand how it works first.
yeah. I think it's gonna be also beneficial that you watch the second part of this this very event that I'm gonna post tomorrow, because it's where I edit the prompt with to make it work with our data set, so the data
Cool.
that we already have generated in our workspace. But yeah, I included the search node, and then I had to switch to GPT-4 Turbo because it was understanding better the prompt as a whole. And as a different concept to what we did during the workshop, during the boot camp, sorry, It is creating a prompt that it's more of, using prompt expressions, so the values that we have in our fields to create a more of an engaging prompt. And yeah, here is where I had to do some changes and include the data set in the node, and then it worked. It's also cool that we run in the first step is generating main themes and genre by running these two AI fields with a command instead of going in and having to click the two AI fields. And so when we have these two fields generated, and then we have also so what we liked about the book, and then the recommendations becomes available, and we can run over and over again. When we have a book rec, we can save it or we can scrap it. Here, what I did miss was this step, is when I also wanna remove the field reason, because I don't need that anymore. I can simply do that, and you will see that the reason field will be removed as well. And I have a clean node. That's the end goal anyway. And also, yeah, in the beginning, I made this workspace public so I could create everything inside this node, and now I can very easily share it as a template. That's it. One question from Simon. Would you expand it with quotes and highlights? Huh. Do you mean about the book? Related to the book?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's you need a couple more commands. I think these are going to be quite easy. Like, no, extract, I think it's only working when it needs to extract data from something that it's in the context of the prompt. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It's better to use output 5 quotes from this book. I would use sys context. So the more context it has, the better. Even though there is not much in the context. Let me remove these so that they don't go inside the prompt. Here we go. And what you can do, how was it, Penley? You named it? A bullet list without numbers. How was it?
Oh yeah, something like
Something
that.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Without, yeah. And you can also do, make it an instance. Let's say that you have a super tag that it's called quote. You can make this an instance of quote. And whenever they are, returned by the AI, you can say that they need to go here. And now they will automatically get the quote super tag whenever they are generated. Mm.
Oh, but that's interesting.
That's very interesting, yeah. Also because it was working like up until I spoke too soon.
Ah, wonder if it's because of the way that prompt is. Try it, yeah, just take the numbers out and see if that. Try, how about output and unnumbered?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's was what I was doing. That's what was working for me. Because before you told me about the
Oh, it's done it again.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so on.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. This is very funny. It's just
It's
continuing, you know.
it's Friday.
Um, render the output.
Yeah. It's like oh, it's really having a day, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but wait. That's why
Why?
I have no name.
Oh, right.
We are using the Pobrecito,
Oh,
the Tupo
okay.
Tarpo Instruct, the
Do you
3.5.
does output strategy still want to be a child if you're putting it in the node?
Yeah, see, yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Mm. And now, if I'm not mistaken, it should be also able to have a book field here that it's an instance of book, and that is auto
Yeah.
initialized to the ancestor with this super tag. And now it should also auto initialize the book field.
My biggest problem is I never remember how to do all those
No,
things or
it's not
to
doing.
do
It
when they
was
come up.
doing it before, but it's not doing it
Oh,
anymore now. And now I have no idea why it's up. Yeah, I guess they changed something or something. No idea.
that's weird.
Mm. But yeah, that's how you go about extracting quotes, and the same goes for highlights or any concept or think about for instance, if you're extracting from a productivity book, you might extract a framework or anything related to that. And I just showed you how to extract quotes, but you take the same approach and you can extract whatever. I don't know, characters and whatever. Just think and try, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, Albert, how was it? Brent, how are
Hi.
you?
I'm good.
Thanks.
I had a question that's not related to the AI. It's more maybe related to Tana.
Yeah,
You did an operation here which kind of surprised me, which was you mutated the book rec tag into a book tag.
yeah,
Somehow that worked, right? So it's like, it seems like there's an intermediate state here. So your book rec extends book. So the fields
yeah,
are defined up in book. And
yeah,
now book rec has no fields itself. It's just inheriting the fields from the parent.
yeah.
Right? But then,
In the first place, but then I can also include fields that are exclusive to book rec.
correct. But
Yeah,
in the case where the AI dropped in a book rec tag on a node, and then you in your command structure, you did an operation where you dropped the book rec tag and added the book tag, and the fields they stayed attached. That didn't seem to be possible to me. If
okay.
you understand the problem. It
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
an intermediate state where the tags that came in from book become node instance fields in that first case after you drop the first tag, and then you add the book tag back in, and somehow those node instance fields get reattached to the super tag. Do you understand what my quandary is here? It's
No, I'm not really. I don't think I'm following you. If you could show to me, I think that would be mega helpful. Like even with your Tana, if you want to share your screen, you're very much
yeah, I don't have any
in.
specific. Let me see here.
Or yeah, or if you want to go over it over a call with me,
Yeah, I'll do it
can
later.
be
It wasn't important.
okay.
It's just kind of surprising that worked. You know,
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Go ahead,
so,
Penny.
so essentially the fields are attached to book, right? And book rec extends book.
right.
So essentially all your, so the fields are already there when it's a book rec because it pulls in the fields from book.
Right.
And then if you're just changing it from book rec to book, well, the fields are already there. They just stay.
But you can't change it atomically. It's done in 2 steps. So first of all, you drop the book rec tag. So the fields, like in that instant where the tag is dropped, that node has no tags on it anymore. And so, but the fields that came in from book are
Are
now
the same.
still there. They're still instance fields of the node itself.
Yeah.
And then the AI added the tag book, which then has the same field names defined up in the template. And somehow Tana was able to map those instance fields into the node, into the tag.
Yeah, because they are basically the same fields. Since they are inherited from the book super tag, they are the same fields. They have the same ID, and that's how the Tana was able to do that.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
what
but
surprised
So
that worked.
yeah. I guess that's a lot of work went into creating something like that, I'm sure.
Because
Yeah, because
this gets into like refactoring where you want to change, one tag into another tag that maybe isn't in the same hierarchy. And so you got this, I got a field name, and then I've got another tag over here that I want to
yeah. You can
field name
also
into.
do
It's like
that.
I end up
And you
having to
can
drag and drop fields around to put it into the right, place again.
That's a good question, and I have a bunch of commands in Studio S that do this. Basically what you do is you can with a command you can also say that I don't also want to move the content of a given fields from the book rec, for instance, and I can port it to let's say that it becomes a project. It doesn't match any field of book, so I have to take the content from any of the book fields and I have to port it over to my project super tag. I can do that. In this case, it was super easy because book rec is an extension, so the fields are the same and Tana is able to automatically match them real time. But yeah, you can also take the content of a field that you've just generated and you have on a super tag, and you can port it to the super tag that you are adding.
But do you have to script that specific to the case where you have to say map this field to this other field by name?
No, you have to just move node, and then you can reference the target. So it would be the field that it's on the next super tag. And so when you are adding that field with this step of the command, and the next step of the of the whole concept is adding a super tag that then finds the field that you just added, then they match automatically.
Okay.
That's the concept here.
Okay.
Because basically what you can do with move a node with add fields and remove fields, you can add fields on the spot. And then if you add, I don't know, with a command on a node that it's not a book, you add a field that it's outer, and it's this field, because you can do that. I mean, if I create an outer now here, I can go ahead and add this field, but it's not in the template. It's unique to this outer field, this outer node. And so when I go then ahead and tag this with any tag that has the outer field, it would be automatically ported. Look, Alfred Bester. Now, if I go ahead here and say, you see?
Yep.
It automatically took the outer field that it's on the book super tag.
Yeah, that was the example that I constructed on the side. Basically, I created a node that had a field like author that was an instance field. In other words, it's in that node, right? And then I created a super tag that had an author field in it. And then I added the super tag to this node, and it didn't pick it up.
It didn't pick it up. You have to make sure that they are using the same field indeed. Otherwise, it's not going to work, I guess. Like in this case, I made sure that when I including outer field here, even though it's not part of the template, I'm making sure that I'm using the right outer field. Yeah, the one that comes from book. Yeah, that one. So that when I add book, it's, the connection is automatic.
But if I have a legacy tag that has author, but it doesn't, then I want to map that node into an author tag. Then those fields, I have this legacy tag that has the same name as the tag that's in the tag I want to, as the tag super tag that I want to move to, but they're not the same because I didn't think ahead of time to make this.
Why don't you merge them?
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is like I struggle with merge strategies and refactoring as a result, because it's hard to get my head into exactly what to do there, what tags, what commands to use or whatever to get the job done, so that I don't end up with duplications.
Yeah, that's also something to take in account, because it can happen, especially if there is a large amount of nodes in your graph. I did over refactoring.
What happens if you load a template twice?
You can't in the same account. It's gonna tell you that it's already in your home node. Unless you move it to the library, and I guess then it's allowing you to install it again. It should not be in your home node. If it's in your home, so where usually Tana installs it, and it's still there, and you try to install it again, then it's gonna tell you that the template is already at the destination.
But then how do we handle like updates to the
author? That's not been addressed yet. What I do is I provide update packages. I work on the updates, and I send over a package that includes new super tags, updated super tag structure, and then you have to manually update it we manually import the template and move the super tags, new super tags and search nodes to your library, and or check the changes that have been made in the super tags that are very well documented, because otherwise it would be a mess for me and for you, and you have to go in and manually do it. Or you can replicate, you can merge. There are many ways. I try to make it, very easy for everybody. So I try to not use merge and stuff like that, because it's easy that people can create mess, and I don't want to feel responsible for that,
Is there any talk in the Tana internal community about something like a Tana package manager, like NPM, that would handle the situation of like, everybody can create a template in their own structure, and then the way that we deal with updates and stuff like that is this process that you described, where we have to have some mechanism to ourselves do this merging and cleanup.
I remember about the MIA of the end of the year last year. They spoke about the vision, the long-term vision, and in the long-term vision, there is an app store for Tana. And this was only a first iteration, but given how early they did it in their life cycle, I guess it's something that they will for sure work on next year, because it's an important feature. And also Ingrid, the head of product, said so, that it was one of the most important features of the year, or one of the most used at least, because it's so convenient. And I think and I hope they're going to work on it next year. But yeah, the long-term vision is having a central point on the Tana website that allows me as a creator, to sell directly from there to Tana customers, to Tana users, and for you, I guess, that directly import it in your workspace or stuff like that. I'm not sure about the details, but that's the vision. It's making very easy, both for me selling, having the audience, and both for you getting the template and importing it into your workspace. But yeah, I agree a lot. The template feature, it's cool, but it lacks these types of feature where I can easily push an update to you guys, and you can somehow merge it, refuse it, or there must be some ways to also make sure that you don't overwrite stuff that you probably changed of the template and you want to keep as you made it. So that's also to take into account. And it's still 24 people. We don't have to remember. We don't have to forget about that. It's really a small team.
Right. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. You're totally welcome. I'm gonna see you next Friday. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We're gonna probably go continue with our learning platform. But no, I'm not sure. Let me see what I find this week. If I find something more exciting.
What time will that one be?
Same time, I guess. Let me see. Yes, next Friday, December 15, 9 p.m. set.
Okay.
So 10 p.m. London, 8 p.m. London,
Yep.
sorry.
So 3 p.m. US. Okay.
3 p.m.
East.
US, yeah.
East.
1 p.m. for Brent.
Yes. Oh, are you in West Coast?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. Ah, nice. Much warmer there than it is here in Ontario.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been super
Low
cold
70s.
today.
In low 70s, it's time for jackets.
Oh dear, yeah. I was scraping ice off the windshield this morning. So yeah.
Great. Thank you for
Anyway.
being with me tonight, guys.
Hey.
I'll see you.
Right.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, have a good week. Bye.
Bye.